Hi, thanks for tuning in to my video. Today is what, Tuesday, the 24th of January, 2023. It's been a good day. I got 30 items listed from my virtual assistant. So I had taken the photos 2 days ago, and then he just got them finished this morning. Normally, he's really good and he just does overnight. So if I get them to him sometime midday the day before, then by the next morning at 7 a.m., he works on New York time, not the time where he's at in, I believe, Pakistan. And, he just gets them done on our time. He's awake during that time. So if I try to contact him during his day, he's actually sleeping. So that's great for me, and it works out wonderful. So I got those 30 launched. And then I did my shipping. You may have caught my shipping video. That was a struggle just because of eBay's glitch that was going on, but I found the workaround, and then toward the end of that video, it worked out, and it went great. Now what I've done since then, and I mean like I've barely left this desk other than to go get more stuff to kind of figure out what's going on with it. I have been down in this office for basically since then, going through old inventory, stuff that I've seen the boxes just sitting there for months, going on into even years on some of this. And it's time to start figuring out why some of this is stagnant and making decisions on it. I don't have a space issue like some people, so that's not my issue. My issue is that I know for a fact that every time that I've had to do this, because I've sold on eBay for over, let's see, since I was 27, I'm 54, so let's go there. But for that many years, truly, I have at some level sold on eBay since I was 27 years old. And so every so often you have to deal with stagnant inventory. Now I feel like I've almost conquered that problem to where it's not going to happen to me anymore, because I just am full-time now. So cash flow wise and in every other way, I have to be very, very specific what I pick up, because I just can't, it doesn't matter. I just can't afford to buy something and even pay $1. And then I've put my work and my effort and my time and photoed it. And then in 90 days, it's just still hanging around. Now there's going to be a few exceptions, but as a rule, when I'm looking up things on my phone, I'm looking at the number of active listings, and then I go to the sold listings, and I want those to be as close as humanly possible. I take a few chances here and there just for fun to keep it interesting. If I find something that I can't find in the field, then I'll go ahead and take a little chance on it. But for the most part, I just stick to the numbers. And, that has really helped so that this is becoming less and less of a problem. So then, of course, COVID happened. So that was my theory. That was my approach. Like 3 or 4 years ago, I'm like, okay, I get this now. I get that you can't just pick up anything, even if it's cute and it's fun and you like it. If it's not going to sell, this is a business. You want to go full time. So to get full time, this is the approach you're going to have to take. So I was on that path. Well, then COVID came, shut down, as we've all been through, shut down the different thrifts, shut down even a lot of garage sales. Oh, sorry, I'm shaking this. A lot of people wouldn't even have a garage sale. In Wyoming, we were shut down much less time. And, we had open flea markets and different things that opened up fairly quickly that you could do wearing masks. But, it still was a big trial to get through that. So a lot of what I'm going to mention here, and I mean, there's just like 40 items probably. We won't get through it in just one video. It'll probably be part 1 and part 2, but I've already done a couple parts, so maybe we'll do 3 and 4. I've been doing this all week. If you happen to have caught those videos, I've been mostly doing my clothing, going through. Started with the oldest box I have because I use a sequential numbering system. So I started with the oldest numbers I had and figured out what on earth is this still doing here, because I'm on 4,163, and a few days ago I went through items that were number 200, number, 272. And so every, 50 to 100 listings, there's some that didn't sell out of that batch. So, from 100 to 200, there's an item that's still around 2 years later. From 100 to 200, there's one or two out of the 100. Yes, most of them I did a decent job on. I either at least clearanced them successfully. I'm not saying I got full price in 90 days for the full 100, especially the older things. But I would have at least clearanced them successfully. These things, and I'm going to show you some of them, I have tried everything that I know, and so it's time to pull them, or some, they just weren't listed. I thought they were not listed. We found a decent amount of those today too. So let's get started. We'll get as long as we can. I'll go probably about an hour, and then we'll stop because it's going to be 11 o'clock by then. And it's really more just the upload time of the video. If I go 2 hours, it just takes all night long for the video to upload, and it's just hard. Eventually, it might be my internet, it might be my computer, I don't know. But so let's start with these. These are really darling. They're J41. It's a good brand. My photos, I think, are fine. I think they're cute. On some things, I've been rephotoing because I realized I got sloppy or something happened. Sorry, guys. My voice is fine until I talk. So, anyway, I've had 4 views on these in the last 30 days, and I have ended and sold similar on almost all this stuff. I don't like to put a lot of time into stuff that's stagnant. That's why I've tried to start with prevention and just look everything up before I buy it now. But then on the older stuff, my approach has been to end it, end like 10 old things in bulk, then sell similar in bulk, and then just kind of glance at the title, glance at the price, do some quick changes, and in like literally 2 to 3 minutes, end 10 and sell similar on 10. And that worked to a great extent. It refreshed the listing. It got it a new number on eBay. The little title change that I quickly made by just going down the bulk list, and then a little change in price, did get rid of a lot of stuff that was very stagnant, so that I didn't have to by hand sit here and make decisions. And it also helped my eBay store in the sense that even if I wasn't making as much as I had hoped on those items 2 years ago, it still clearanced them off. It made my store velocity look really good, and so I was happy with it. But this stuff, because a lot of it isn't listed or whatever happened, it's just not going anywhere, and it's been just sitting there. So on these, I made the decision to keep them. J41 is a strong brand. And even though I ended and sold similar a couple months ago, like in November, a couple months still, I've had 4 in 30 days. So what I did was I, put a different picture first for my gallery. So I had a wedge side picture. So instead I just changed the picture that I wanted for my gallery. I upped my promoted listings to 15% because I want to make sure these get seen. And then I don't think I changed the title. I don't know what else to do in the title. I had wedge, I had all kinds of really good things in the title, open toe, everything that I could think of. So if by summer, in about 2.5 more months when the consignment store accepts shoes, if these have not sold in 2 more months, then I will pull these and they'll go to consignment. I can't take them to consignment now, and I don't think that they're something that needs donated. I think these will sell somewhere, so I'm going to keep them in my store for 2 more months. So that's the decision I made on these. And I'm going to have to walk over because I've got so many boxes here that I've got to just walk away from myself, at first, so that there's room to even do this video. So the stuff I'm keeping, I have 3 tubs over there, and then I will go refile it back in my garage. The stuff I'm getting rid of, I have a tub for packing because I'm going to unpack them out of these boxes and use the boxes for good stuff that I do have behind me that just needs listed. And then I'm going to put this stuff in a donation IKEA bag, and then I will sort it versus consignment versus just it's not a consignment item. It has to go to the thrift. I don't think there's anything I actually have to really throw away. I think consignment and thrift on these things. All right, so Kohl Sonoma, I think that's these here. Let's see. Okay. I like Kohl stuff. I wear Kohl stuff. So does my husband. I just don't think the sell-through is there on eBay. I actually bought these shoes, I think, a couple years ago, thinking my husband might be able to wear them. They're a 9.5. And I just vaguely remember paying like $1. This is the problem with pre-packing, by the way. So, you know, if you're going to pre-pack things and then you're not careful what you buy, or you end up in this boat, then you got to unpack stuff that you packed that never sold. Again, a lot of these were doing the very best I knew how to do during COVID. I was working night shifts as a nurse. I wanted to keep my business going, and not only that, but I knew that that was just to help out the community. It was not a place I wanted to be. I knew I was trying to work my way into being able to be a full-time eBay reseller. So I was working night shifts, then everything closed down. So my normal system of just, you know, on my day off, having my husband drive me while I slept in the car and I bought a bunch of stuff and came home from the thrift, I couldn't do that anymore. So I did get on Facebook. People gave me amazing stuff. But I also took some things that I definitely would not take now. But I don't have any regrets, and you shouldn't either. If this happens to you and your store is full of stuff, just start where you're at. Don't apologize. Don't get down on yourself. COVID was hard on everyone for sourcing. I don't care how it went down, you know, just get out of it one item at a time. That's why I'm doing these items at one item at a time. And these are my oldest items. I think these are very cute shoes. They're Kohl Sonoma, 9.5 medium, but I'm just not seeing the sell-through on eBay, and I've taken very good photos of these things. My description and my title, there's nothing else I can do to get these really to sell faster. I've had 2 views in 30 days, even though I've done my sell-similar situation and messed with the title. And these will do really well because they are very cute. They'll do really well at the consignment store. So this is an item I'm going to consign. So give me just a second to empty out this packing. I'm working as I talk here, guys. Plus, I don't want to get mixed up what I'm keeping and what I'm giving away. So, okay, so I have my packing bin here. And I am just going to check one more time. And first, I'm going to make sure that the J41 shoes, that I did list them. This is just kind of my double check. I'm bringing you along with me while I double check everything because I had so many things going on. I want to make sure that I deleted the ones off that I am going to donate. And I want to make sure that I kept and got relisted the ones in my store that I'm keeping. The other thing too is that Ink Frog had a little bit of a delay today, and some of these I had to go to Ink Frog to my account to find because they dropped off somehow. So okay, we are on J41. Let me type that in. Yep, they are in my active, and they are newly listed. So, okay, and there's only one pair. All right, and then we're going to do the Sonoma, and they should not show up in my active because I'm getting them out. Yep, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, I think these will do really good on consignment. I will get probably, I would think, at that consignment store where I take my stuff, that I think they might price these 12, 13 at the most. I'll probably get about 5. Okay, I thought I was organized for this, but I'm not. So, okay, we'll do it that way. These items, or this item, is called Ride Boot MFG. And so they're just ride boots is what they are. These have been sitting in my garage. I didn't even pre-pack them. I've walked by them for at least a year thinking they were listed, and I just never picked them up to check. I'm really trying to buy better stuff. I'm busy listing, and anyway, these were nowhere to be found. I can't even find that I've ever listed these. I couldn't find them even on InkFrog, so I don't even know, but I found them. I made the draft. It's in my drafts right now, and tomorrow when I photo all my other clothing, these will finally be listed. So somehow, and I should have known these weren't listed, because when I list, I almost always pack my item at the time. The exception is if I really can't find a box or I'm in a big hurry to get on the road, then once in a while I will list something and not pre-pack it. But normally I just leave it in here in my office, and then that's the reminder that I need to put it away, give it a number, and take it into the garage. So how this even happened, I don't know. It might have happened during COVID when I was working nights and probably was very tired. But anyway, tomorrow this will be solved. Okay, on my list now, let's see here. I've got so many pieces of paper. All right, we're done with that one. Okay. So this is great. This is slightly embarrassing, other than the fact that I'm solving my problem and my sales are still really good. I've sold $2,200 this week on less than 1,000 listings. So I'm doing well, but this is really frustrating, let me tell you guys. I hope if you're in this boat, you just pick up where you're at and just clean it up. Just has to be done. My sales are strong because I am slowly pulling this stuff off. That's why I listed 30 items today too. Normally I do like 10 to 15 a day, and then I try to take care of my life, clean my office, make sure everything's good. But I knew that I was going to be at some level pulling off a bunch of listings, and I just don't want to get penalized on eBay for the algorithm for like a bunch of listings just disappearing. I don't think eBay used to care, but now that so many people cross-post, I think, they're going to wonder, like, if I'm just selling all this stuff on Poshmark and pulling it off. But on the other hand, I found items that weren't listed, and I went back to InkFrog, so they're going to like me because I listed all this new stuff. So, all right, this is embarrassing. This is number 501, and I'm on the 4100s now. But if you look up in the corner, it says ex officio. Okay, no problem. So you pull out the jeans, and I was about to type them in the search box, like, where are the ex officio jeans? Well, these are Quicksilver jeans, and these were in that envelope. So, first of all, this is not a padded flat rate. So, and these are heavy, heavy, heavy carpenter jeans. Maybe I thought, these are too big and bulky to get into a padded. Maybe I didn't realize back then how much I can actually cram into a padded flat rate. I don't know, but these are definitely Quicksilver, and these are definitely where they're at. Hopefully in the past I didn't have to cancel an order. I don't remember doing that, but these jeans here aren't listed either. So they're in the wrong package that says ex officio, and then these were just not listed. And when I went to InkFrog to consider relisting them, they did have that number. So this is probably just how I did it. The problem with these, now these are good jeans, and because they're the Quicksilver saltwater denim. So these are actually really a keeper, except for the condition. I don't mind the washout. I wash all my clothes, so I guess I could work really hard on even stain treating that, and I'm getting halfway decent at it. I bet if I soaked it in this solution, I could probably get some of the dirt part out, but the problem here is just back here. So this is a great skater brand, and if this was even half of that, I would do it, because people don't care as much as you'd think about a little bit of wear on the back of the ankles. But otherwise, these would be so just like Y2K 90s skate, and they'd be really good. I just don't think that I'm going to get them sold for anything, even for $10. I just think with that kind of damage, it's too extensive. So these, actually, I lied. Well, no, I guess I'll donate these to the thrift. I hate to even give stuff to the thrift that's going to be, that they're going to end up throwing away. But, you know, they might keep these. These are actually really cool pants. I don't think I can get any money on consignment because of the damage. So let me see. I need my thrift pile now. All right, let me see if I can keep all these boxes straight. Okay, so I'm going to mark that one off. I want to go make 100% sure that I have deleted those. They were never listed, so I don't believe that I, you know, listed them, but I just want to make sure. But yeah, if you ever see that saltwater denim in Quicksilver and they look kind of Y2K-ish, you want to pick them up. Definitely. Nope, they are off. Okay, let's see what we have now. Okay, this is another one. If you saw my video the other day about the postcards and the Valentines, and I love these things. This is a Chicago World's Fair postcard, and it was sent from the Chicago World's Fair to their relative here in Wyoming, and that's why I just loved this thing when I found it at an estate sale. So this is 1933. And it says, Chicago, Illinois, July 10th, 1933. Dear Nellie, how are you and the ducklings, Beauty's mother and dad? So like talking about the little ducklings. So far, I've enjoyed everything except for the heat. I prefer dear old Wyoming, and then it's signed. And so, I mean, it's just a precious part of history. I'm not going to throw it away. I'll try to donate it somewhere where I think that at least someone else can look at it, but I can't keep it, as cute as it is, and it's just not selling. In the scheme of postcards, I guess that I thought this was kind of more rare and some Wyoming history. I've had every key word that someone from Wyoming might want with this, but truth be told, this isn't as rare. I found the postcard, just the exact postcard, unwritten on and written on. They're all over eBay. But I thought maybe the the message was unique, but I just have not been able to get rid of it. So I deleted it off. I'm going to double check that I did, and I'm going to put that in the donate pile. Let me type in postcard and make sure that I did my deletion correct. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just going one by one by one. I make sure that I make a decision on it. I look up the comps again. I either delete it or keep it, and then, you know, keep them separate. Donate what's donated. Make sure, obviously, it's common sense. Don't donate, you know, don't pull stuff, or don't keep things listed and then donate them. That's why this is a little more complicated. That's why I'm double checking a second time. This I did get definitely during COVID. You know, I remember paying just hardly nothing on it. I know that the Frontierland, you know, this is Frontierland. It's pretty collectible on Disney stuff. But this is only one panel. It might even be homemade. It doesn't have a tag. I mean, that doesn't necessarily look homemade. But either way, I just could never even get a couple bucks out of this thing. I tried to just get it in the hands of someone who really wanted it. Initially, I started it at like, you know, $18 or something. I was happy with just clearancing it out, and I can't get it to do anything. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to donate that. Let me make sure that I have taken it off. Yeah, I've tried a lot of things on some of these in the past, and it worked on many of the things I tried. That's why they're not here. But I just couldn't get rid of this stuff. So it's time for it to quit weighing my store down. Financially, you have to look at the cost to your store of keeping things. Okay, this is more packing. Now, this is one of the things that saved my life during COVID. I think there were a lot of manufacturing slowdowns during COVID, or I know for a fact, but I think even like with John Deere and filters, and so there were a lot of companies that needed different filters, And, you know, the slowdowns from getting their supplies were really restricted. So I was very blessed during COVID. I was on Facebook one day looking for inventory, and this company had just taken one photo into a tractor trailer and said, you know, we've got a lot of filters for sale. And that's basically all they said. Like, they did not do a good job on the listing, thankfully for me. So I called and I said, well, how many filters do you have? And can you give me some of the numbers? And this is 3 hours away from me. But anyway, long story short, I figured, okay, after they gave me that little bit of information, I figured it was worth my drive to go check it out. And I ended up getting, like, it was 2 full carloads, and I had like a van at the time. And it ended up to be like over 500 John Deere oil filters. And I literally paid $500 for all of it. They saved half of it because I went up there unexpecting to have this many. They let me scan each one individually, you know, or look up each one individually. They let me stay there for hours at this construction company. And then I loaded my car, realized I was going to fall short. I paid them up front and said, I'll be back when I can. I think it took me 2 more months to get back because I was working as a night nurse and I had all this to process. And I figured I had made my money even if they did discard those. I had gotten so many the first time. But anyway, thankfully they did save them for me, and I got back up to get the rest. And oh, that really kept my eBay store going. But again, this isn't my niche. I can't find more of these now. They don't routinely have these. This was a one-off deal. So unfortunately, I have great traffic for John Deere tractor parts now. I am like up there in the ranking, but that did me no good. So it's okay. This is the last hanger on her. I have clearanced, sold, done everything I could on all the different types. This one did sell well for me initially, but right now there's no sold in the last like 90 days. So I'm going to say goodbye. I almost want to keep it just as a, you know, just thankful that I had such a good buyout during COVID. And, you know, some of them weren't doing as good, but I literally sold many of these that I paid just pennies for. I literally sold many of them for $25, $30, even $50. I had John Deere oil. Oops. I always drop something on every video, so why should I stop now, I guess, huh? I literally had oil filters this big, or tractor parts for these machines. And, you know, I did what I had to do during that time. But, like I said, I can't replicate it, so I'm just going with clothing, which I can get my name in the algorithm for. So I'm going to save the box because it's kind of a unique size box, and I will find like a jacket or something to put in there. All right, so I don't even know if I wrote that one down. Let me make sure that that is my last filter. It's kind of sad for me because I think we lived like a year and a half. Yes, I started to get other stuff and started to thrift again, but it really just kind of took my anxiety away too, because I knew I'd wanted to go full time. And then I decided to go back to nursing to help out during COVID at this little nursing home. And I questioned that anyway. And then this made me feel like, okay, as soon as COVID is, you know, resolved, if you want to use that word, then I will be able to make a living at this, and I'm keeping my store going. These are pill boxes. When my mom's husband passed away, you know, they were, you know, he was elderly and he just had collections of everything, and he had, you know, a little bit of illness. So a lot of these are like unwrapped pill boxes, and they're the really nice ones. So I helped her by just listing a ton of stuff, and plus I was going back and forth to Texas. I had to get what I could to list. So I sold so much money in just like this kind of stuff, unopened vitamins, all kinds of things that, you know, he had before he passed away that she didn't want. And so these are really, really cool pill boxes. And I've got so many of them, got 4 of them. And, you know, but I just haven't been able to sell them. I put them all in as a lot. even being willing to take like $5 plus shipping. You know, they are kind of heavy, and I know pillboxes are a dime a dozen. Sometimes you probably even get them free at the hospital or the doctor's office or through Medicaid, and so these just never sold. It's one of those things that I listed, you know, for her, or she gave me to list to keep my business going this last year when I was helping her, and I've tried everything I know. So anyway, someone needs to use these. I'm going to donate these to the thrift. All right, so let me make sure that I deleted those. I'm sure I did, but I want to make sure. Let me see. I think I've written this down. I've got so many notes. I did keep some stuff too, actually, by the way. I'm not deleting my whole store. There is some good stuff still in my store. Okay. These things. We had these on Amazon initially, and we sold a ton of them. I think we were buying these at Walgreens. They were a Walgreens toy. And this was, let's see, this was either before COVID or a summer when, you know, COVID had opened up and we could go arbitrage again. And then the price dropped, or else Amazon took it off. You know, Amazon has just ruined its toy business by wanting safety information even on, you know, things that are basically more for adults than kids. But that's a whole nother story if you haven't read about that. But anyway, I have 2 of these. I just, you know, I've looked them up on eBay. I've tried to mark the price down. I've tried everything. I am going to look these up on Amazon one more time, make sure that something hasn't changed. Then I'm going to just, you know, see who they might apply to. I'll donate them to the church for children, or I will end up just giving these to the thrift. But I am going to check them out on Amazon first, just to see. Things cycle back, you know, and this toy is getting older and older. So let's see, it's Tenya. Let me make sure I've pulled them both off. I have 2 of these, and I just can't budge them no matter what I do. Okay, let's see. I've got stuff everywhere, guys. This is a hard process. Okay. This is a War Eagles hat. I thought it was cute. Same thing during, I don't know if it was before COVID or during COVID, but we went to a garage sale and they just had trash bags of vintage trucker hats. So, and literally I paid pennies, if that, for each hat. They just wanted them out of there. This was about 20 miles away from me. So, I sold a lot of those hats. They were mesh. They were really older. They had all different kinds of things. This one, I just don't have very much interest in. I'm trying to find my notes on this one here. Because I did take some good notes. Anyway, I've had very few views on, oh, here's the pillboxes, so maybe it's on this page. Anyway, cross off the pillboxes. I did pull those. I don't think this was on my initial list. Anyway, I decided to pull this. It's in good condition, but you can tell the brim is just a little flexible. I mean, it's not cracked, but whatever cardboard is in there is just a little bit, you know, wonky on that. And so I'm going to donate, or I'm going to consign this, and it's still really cute. And the place that I sell to, you know, someone will really like this, so I'm going to donate that, or consign that. I keep getting donate and consign. I'm using 2 different words. Okay, what is this one? Okay, this is Boss Sports. I don't know what. Let me make sure I took that Tenya off. Okay. And then this is like a jacket. I do sell a lot of, like, specifically Wyoming things. I sell a lot of University of Wyoming shirts. I've shown you some of those. And, you know, Colorado companies and things like that. I actually do pretty good on, but I just could not get this to budge either. So I'm going to get rid of it. I'll show it to you in a second. Just trying to find all my notes, but I've done like 50 things here. I should have, I guess, numbered them better or something, but, oh, okay, it's on this list here. So, I can't think of any other keywords. This just is not a popular brand. And so even though it would be really cute for someone in Wyoming, I can't get it to sell on the internet. So see, it just says Wyoming. And then it's Voss Sports. And it's just a nice fleece. It's a size medium. So I'm going to take this to the consignment store. And, you know, obviously because I live in Wyoming, this should sell really good. That is my last idea on what to do with that. So I pulled it. I've had it for over 2 years, I know for a fact. All right, I need to figure out my box situation here. I'll move that over. All right, let's go to the next one, guys. We're at 35 minutes. We'll keep going a little bit longer. Then I'll do part 2 tomorrow morning because I need this out of my way so I can list better stuff. So between the consignment stuff, I'm going to consign and then just freeing up my store. And then I've got great stuff behind me to list. You know, this is a good decision to finally make myself do this. So, you know, my understanding is rope hats are pretty collectible. I've watched several hat videos and we have one on our group. And this is just like a really nice construction type hat. And I've seen many people, obviously they probably specialize in hats, but you can sell just kind of a generic hat if it's cute with a rope thing on it. And people will just buy it, especially people overseas. They don't necessarily have to have been there themselves. You can really sell these hats. But I just cannot get this one to budge. I had construction in the title. I had rope hat. I've had everything that I know of. And let me see how many watchers I've had on here. I'm looking at my list. Sorry here. I just saw it too. Okay, well, there is the Voss Sports that I'm going to pull. Anyway, I don't know where it is, but I haven't had that many views on it at all in the last 30 days. Even though I ended it, sold similar, got it a new number. I've tried everything I know to do. So I'm going to consign this. This will sell in person because it is very cute, but I just can't get it to budge. So I'm going to save all my packing, and I'm going to put this in the consignment. So the good thing about hats is that I can consign them all year long, so I don't have to, you know, just consign them at one place. And I think some, you know, some college kid, this is the type of style that they would wear at my consignment place. All right, let me make sure and type that name in. Lost my mouse there. That I did delete it. I'm just showing you the process. This is how tedious this is. That's why do not end up in this situation. If this video does one thing for you, if it's not entertaining, which watching someone else go through their mess can be entertaining, but if it's not that, then make sure that this is just like a warning to, you know, try to be careful what you pick up. It's not worth the back end problem. Of course, you know, I don't feel bad. I did the best I could in whatever reason that I picked these up, whatever the situation was. All right. This is the same thing. I just came across a bunch of hats. Either this was in that group or I don't know, but this is Mitchell and Ness, so should be good. It has this. Now, it ended up not to be brand new. It had been worn a little bit. But anyway, this FC Bayern München, it's a team, but it's, you know, I think it's an overseas team. And I just have not been able to get this to budge, so I'm going to consign it. If I had, you know, 2,000 hats in my store, I think people would just pick up things just out of interest, but I can't get it to go. Let me see here if it's on. Okay, and I'm gonna type in, let's see, Bayern, and make sure that I deleted it. Okay, got a biggie here. I'm coming back. I just had to pick up this big one. Okay, that one is deleted off. All right, now this one, this is a new wave parts, a certain part of the new wave oven, and I sold the domes. You know, whenever I used to get the domes, especially during COVID, I think everyone was cooking and all of that. And so I had heard, you know, go get those clear domes on the new wave, and those would go for $40. And I was buying the entire things for, you know, 10 or 15, selling the dome. And then I also successfully sold a lot of other parts to this. But this is the base of it, and the rack, the drip rack, and I just looked them up again, and this has sat, and I just have not sold it. So it's too big. I looked at any chance of this selling, even just for like 10 bucks plus they pay the shipping, and it's going to take a very long time. I don't know if they've gone out of fad, or if this, you know, base was just like the lowest end part and I just went ahead and parted the whole thing out. I don't know what happened, but anyway, I'm going to get rid of that. I will open this up later, and I don't know if I'm even going to save my box. I'll probably just open it up, and the box, I don't know if I would ship in this anyway, so I'll probably just donate it like this. I'll check into it, but let's see. Donations go here. All right. Keep track of my stuff. And yeah, I did delete that. Just double checking. So it's not in my store, so that's good. All right. This was definitely an estate find. I might have even found this at the same estate sale that I found the postcards. And I sold so many Valentines and really cool like vintage books and ephemera from several estate sales in the last year or two that I've gone to. And this just did not come up on Amazon at the time, and it was just electrical and electronic industrial control. You know, it's just like a vintage kind of, oh, I don't know what the word is, but I sell things like this just out of just interest. I guess I can keep it wrapped to donate it, but I just couldn't get this to budge anymore. It's just not a popular book. There are no sold, and it didn't come up on Amazon. It's kind of a rare book in the sense that it's a University of Texas publication. It's almost like a university press book, I guess is how I would compare it. And if you sell vintage books or books at all, you know that university press books, they have very small runs, but they're unique topics, and so they can sell very, very well. But I just could not get this to budge after years of, you know, editing it once in a while, and I just couldn't get it to budge. Alright, so anyway, donate this, and I don't know if anybody, you know, I don't know if anybody will take that, but hopefully the Goodwill gets it put out or something, and someone comes upon it. That's what I'm hoping. Alright, let's do a few more. Let's see, I'm going to save my box. Boxes are worth more than some of the stuff I had in them. Like this, you know, this box is a rare size on eBay, and so I am keeping my boxes. All right, let's do the next one here. Oh yeah, this is an advent calendar. If it didn't sell over Christmas, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. I had some advent calendars over Christmas sell for literally upwards of $40. They aren't like a brand you would know. They're just vintage. This one is just as cute, just the same to me. I mean, not exactly the same, but it's just as cute and just as sellable. So I have absolutely no clue. It comes with all of these pieces. And, you know, you stick them down in the pockets. And then it's this. And I mean, I think it is absolutely just darling. I'm going to go back and look at my photos on this. I ended it, and then I thought, you know, when I was, you know, deciding to take it off, I thought, you know, I don't think that these were in my first picture. I think I just, you know, maybe took this. So I'm going to take one more look at this listing before I donate it. But, I just can't believe that this didn't sell based on some very basic advent calendars that I sold for so much money. This is just creative design. So I'm going to put a little bit more work in this and check out my listing on this and decide if I keep or give away. So I'm going to set this aside. I have 3 advent calendars left. Even after Christmas, I sold an advent calendar. Like the day I listed it, it was another one, not one of these 3. And literally, I got $40. And then this one, I think, honestly, is cuter. And so I don't know what is going on. But I'm going to re-look up the brand and try to figure it out. I thought I had done that before I showed it to you, but I didn't. All right, this one. I remember the exact sale that I got these at, and I had been reading. Again, you know, I was reading about hard goods or whatever I could find because it was COVID. So I had read that there can be some very expensive vintage hard hats, and I had read that or watched a video on it or something, and I had watched a video that said, you know, they look just really cheap. They don't look like they're expensive, but they can be worth a lot of money. So we were on the go at these garage sales. I didn't have time to really look everything up. They were selling these things for $1 a piece. So I got it, and it just ends up, I mean, it does have numbers here and all this. And this one, I've just tried everything, even for a prop or for a costume, and no one cares. So I'm getting this out of my store. It doesn't fit what I'm doing now, and, you know, that particular one is not the rare one. Let me put it that way. Okay, so let me make sure that I don't have hard hat still in here. Nope. Make sure I got rid of it. Yes, I did. Okay. Same on this one. This is the orange version. I have a green one and an orange one. And I mean, look at how big these are. Just to package them just in anything at all. And, you know, it's taking up so much of my space. And I've had these for like 2 years. So it's time to say goodbye. You know, I'm not, like I said on my last video that had to do with getting rid of inventory, I'm not holding these items to the same standard as if, would I pick this up tomorrow? I'm not even judging them that harshly. I'm just saying, you know, is there something I can do? Is there something I've missed? Is there something in the market or my listing? Can I retake the photos to get this thing to sell? And in some cases, I'm going back and I'm trying to be real brutal on my own listing and look and say, oh yeah, I didn't do this or I didn't do that. But on these listings, they actually, you know, I fixed them either once or they're as good when I did them as I would do them now. And I just can't get rid of them. You know, this one had this loose here, and it may have been a bigger factor, but I paid $1. You know, I took it, I didn't research it in the field because it was just too hard at the time. I don't think I knew about Google Lens at the time that I bought these. And so I thought for a prop or something it'd be real cute, but I'm just going to donate it to the thrift. Get it out of here. So let's see, I need another tub here. Oh, let's do this. These are going to get listed tomorrow, so let's use this for thrift. All right. We can do a few more, guys. We are at, let's see where we're at. Okay, we're at 48. We got some time. All right, this is Jones, New York. I used to not be quite as careful on my clothing because I was willing to hold things in my store a year, year and a half. And this is actually really cute if you look up close. It is a size 6, but the sell-through rate on Jones, New York, especially in a size 6, is just so slow that my pictures are good. Everything I've tried is good. And this thing is just going to hang on. And I would rather right now, while it's winter, get some consignment money from someone who can see it in person at that consignment store. And I've had this at like $5. I've had it really low. And I'm just not getting hardly any attention. I've had 1 view in 30 days. And so yeah, I'm just going to pull it. pull it and get some consignment money. So that goes there. All right, now I've talked about in my other videos of pulling things that I got. I went to this garage sale. It was like on a farm. There was stuff everywhere. And I walked up and they just had all these tubs that said free material. And I looked and the top had been like cut or the pockets had been used to make purses or who knows. But when you dug down, there were full pair of Levi's jeans and all different kinds that had not been cut. Maybe they had thought they were, but they were never cut anywhere. So I took them all. They were free and we loaded them up in a car. I didn't have a van then. And we got them all home. And a lot of them were like this, but you know, these are Levi's there, and I was selling really damaged Levi's just for whatever reason. But this is the last of the last that I am starting to go through. I know I'm going to find more. And, you know, this is just too damaged. I don't even think I will donate this to the thrift. They're not, you know, like a rare number. They're not big E. They're nothing, you know, like that is going to make these that unique. I think these might be USA made and vintage, but anyway, yeah, they're women's. They're 16 medium USA. So if they didn't have all this, I might go ahead and keep trying, but I just have not been able to get rid of these. And so I'm gonna get rid of them. Same with these. These were probably in that same group, or else I picked them up very cheap at a garage sale. I was selling so many Carhartts and everything that were just, you know, distressed or worn or had holes, and I was selling them very successfully. And I'm sure if I held out on these too, I could, but I have tried everything that I know in the title to get these to sell. These are, I think these are USA made. These are 3232 USA made Lee jeans, but you know, they really do have a lot of holes in, you know, like the backside and everything. And so I think it does matter sometimes where the holes are. I'm going to go ahead and try to consign these though, because the place that I consign to, they're pretty trendy. And so if these are like a trendy thing and I'm just not using the right keywords, then somebody will find these and I'll get some money for them. So I'm going to do that. So let me make sure, actually I need to back up, make sure I took those off. I know I did because I was very careful, but just to make 100% sure that I don't end up with these. Let me see. Yep. Okay. This was not listed. I listed it, and so it must have been listed for a short period of time because it was on my Ink Frog things. But anyway, it's brand new, and I'm from 2005, and of course, we're after Christmas now. I should have done this before Christmas, but, you know, even if you just spot check things, like you're like, why do I still have that Christmas item? You know, I should have just spot checked even my Christmas stuff before Christmas, but you know, I was busy and I listed a ton of new great items, so it's okay. I just wasn't focused on, you know, all this stuff. Now I got to take the packing out. So anyway, I found that this was not listed. I had $40 on this. So here's a $40 item that probably definitely would have sold over Christmas. But I got it relisted, and so, you know, in the scheme of things, I'm deleting all this stuff. At least I have some things that to eBay is a new listing, so it's going to look like I listed about 37 items today. I did list 30 new and better items, but this is actually a good item. This, you know, Dimensions kits actually sell quite well, and so yeah, that needed to get listed. So I am going to put this in the refile area, and I'm going to make sure that I did get it relisted. I saw it, so I'm sure, but I'm a former nurse. I like checks and balances. I like to make sure. All right, same thing on this book. At the time, I found this at a garage sale. We could not find one anywhere, so it just looked kind of interesting. Maybe this was my mom's husband's. He was a big hunter, had a lot of, you know, guns and things like that that we had to liquidate. And so this may have been something in his office that I was, you know, thinking might be unique or something. It wasn't. I can't get rid of it. I can't really find too many of them, but I couldn't get rid of it. So it is definitely not unique. Let me just make sure that I deleted this. And so, yeah, it's just time for it to go. I'll donate it. All right, where are we at now? Okay. This thing. I think this is darling. Zajirishi is how you say it. So if you're not familiar with that, there are Japanese rice cookers, and they're called Zojirishi. Zojirushi. Look them up if you see them. Rice cookers are so easy to test. You just put the right proportions of water and rice, plug it in. If in 30 minutes you have really good white rice, then the item works. And that's how easy they are. So I love to sell rice cookers. So Zajirishi is one of the most in-demand brands of rice cookers. And so I saw this and I thought, okay, this is definitely Zajirishi, so it's a pickup. We were out in the field, you know, garage sailing, and and I was at the garage sale, and the people who had this, you know, I want to say I paid like $5. I paid up a little bit for it. I looked it up on eBay and could not find any, but I didn't have Terapeak or know how to do Terapeak on my phone. This was at least like 2 summers ago. It wasn't this summer. And anyway, so it says high pot and, you know, Zajirishi. So to me, it's a carafe and it's like for coffee, but I think it's more than that. You know, in Japan, I think that they use this more for other things. My daughter-in-law is half from the Philippines, and so we have some familiarity with a lot of things that she uses, rice makers being one of them. That's how I got on to selling rice makers, because she just uses hers every day and leaves it plugged in all the time. I never did that. Now I have one and I use it all the time. But anyway, long story short, as rare as this is, nobody cares. I can't find any solds on this at all. And, you know, it's just kind of scaring me why there's none on there. Mine has sat there and no one has said it has a recall or that it's not good to sell. But I've looked it up. I do see them on Google selling for a decent amount. But I can't get this marketed the right way on eBay. You know, I've tried everything. Let me go to Google here and tell you. So yeah, if you see one, they're nice to have. I'm going to probably donate this, or I might give it to my husband for the church, because we, you know, we make coffee and then sometimes, you know, we put some in here to put on the table at events. And this is a real cute one. So let's see, Zajirishi. It's Zajirishi High Pot. And let me see. I know I found it at the time, you know, when I was looking it up. But anyway, I don't even see it on here. I'm going to give it a once more over, make sure there's nothing in my keywords that I could do better. And then I'm going to donate it to somebody. So that's the end of you. I've had it at like $15 and I just could not get it to move. So I am done. So let me make sure I deleted that. And yes, I did. Okay. Then this is the same thing. It's more hats. I'm going to save everything for packing. All right, so this, for a vintage hat, This is Towsley's, the promotion specialist, and here it says made in the USA, but the mesh is in excellent condition. The foam is in good condition. The bill is flexible but not stiff. And, you know, I just thought it was a real cute kind of vintage trucker hat, but there's thousands and thousands and millions probably of vintage trucker hats on eBay. And I just could not get any interest in this one, so I'm going to take this to the consignment. I think in person that will get some traction, and you know, hopefully I get a little bit of money on it. Okay, I did take that one off. All right, I'm not going to open these because I'm keeping them. These are a brand new pair of Ariat boots, and I'll go look up exactly what they are. And they weren't listed. And this is number 669. And so anyway, I know the number on the hard goods for that. I've had these for a year and a half at least. I mean, I don't know how long they were listed and just didn't sell. Maybe I had them priced too high, but at some point they were purchased, never paid for. I try to pay attention to whether eBay relists things, especially if it's me that is canceling them. I try to go back that same day and make sure that it did get relisted, but somehow along the line I missed this one. These are Ariat boots, men's, size 11D, heritage, roper square, deer tan, and they're black in color, and they're brand new without the box. With, you know, they have tags hanging on them. So anyway, I have these at $89.50. I don't know if I'll get that much, but that's the price that I had looked them up at. And they've just not been listed for who knows how long. So that's the second thing so far, the dimensions kit, and then these boots. I mean, that's over $100 and stuff that I thought was listed. So thankfully I have Ink Frog. I went back to Ink Frog and was able to relist it. If you pay attention to your inventory every 90 days, you do not need Ink Frog. You just go back to your ended listings, you know, go through your stuff, do a quick audit, try to find what isn't listed, and it will be in your ended listings. But since I didn't do that, anyway, that's where we're at. All right, guys, let's do a couple more, and then we'll call this part 1. These were listed, and I've had them. They're referee shoes, of all things. That's what they're called, these 3N2. I guess there must be some certain, what do you call it, regulations that you have to have certain shoes. And it's interesting, these are unisex, so they list the size for men and women, and these have been listed, but I had them at like $25 plus shipping, and then the listing just got old and stale, and I hadn't ended and sold similar since November. So I went in, I took a little bit better picture of the tag. My photos look good. I just lowered the price. I want to say I just lowered it down to $12. And, where are they here? Let's see, what are they again? These are 3N2. Let me make sure I relisted them. I meant to. Okay, there they are. It's like, all right. Oh, I have referee. I need to look up how you spell referee. I think I've got it spelled right. But anyway, I just lowered it to $12.99. I upped the promoted listings to 15%. These do have a market. I remember when I first looked them up that people really wanted these. Mine must have just been too high, so I'm going to try to get rid of them. Plus, a men's size 6 or a woman's 7.5. I mean, for a man, that's a very small size. That's what it says on the tag. And then, so a woman, I mean, I'm not saying there isn't a referee with really small feet, but probably it's a size issue that is making these slow. But anyway, there's a consignment store for sports stuff in the same town where I consign to this other store. And so if in another month or two these do not sell, I will take them off. I've got some golf clubs in there I got to take off. And I'm trying to get enough together to go set up an account at the sports store. And I will take these if, you know, when I get like 20 items, I'll go to that store. All right, let me see. I guess this other stuff is over here. Okay. So these are 9 NRA hats. These were definitely my mom's husband who passed away. You know, he had a lot of Duluth trading and a lot of amazing items that did sell for her right away. And, you know, it just gave her a lot of, you know, extra cash flow. My mom works full-time still. She loves working. So it wasn't really even a money issue. It was just trying to get it to people who needed it. We donated so much stuff too. But he was a big NRA person. And so, I mean, all these, they're good hats. I have tried to just sell them all in one big lot. You know, I was willing to take like $5 toward the end, and I just can't get them out of here. So I'm pulling these off. I just don't want to see them anymore. And I am going to try to consign them. I don't know how this place feels about stuff like that. You know, gun stuff. It is Wyoming, so I'm assuming they don't care. But I haven't really looked through their hats. But anyway, I'm going to, you know, ask them or consign them, or I'll just donate them to the thrift. Just get them out of here. But, you know, that's a huge box in my storage. And I see NRA hats selling all the time. But I think to sell big groups of hats, you've just got to have a lot. Or, I don't know, maybe those just weren't unique enough. There's also the thing that some of them, some of these I think are official. And then other ones, that's the other thing. I just thought, you know, these may not even be like really have the right to use NRA. So I just want to get rid of them. I don't want to get in trouble on eBay for something like that anyway. So I got rid of all that off my store anyway. And then what is this thing? Oh, this is a, it's still wrapped, and I'm keeping that to sell. It is a planner. It's one of those big happy planners. It's new in the box. It's a consignment item for a lady that I know. She's a friend of mine. And it says hustle on it. And it's really cute. And, you know, that happy planner stuff is not cheap at all. But I've sold some other things. I've sold some Disney, Mickey Mouse Happy Planner stuff for her. But this one, for some reason, is just hanging on a little bit. But I put it in a different package so I could send it parcel post rather than priority. I had it in a priority box, and that might have made my shipping a lot higher. So I lowered my shipping, put it so that I could send it by either UPS or parcel post. And I just lowered the price. You know, I'll either get rid of it or I'll just give it back to her and just tell her this is like the last thing that I just could not get rid of. All right, so I think that we will stop there. I've got a lot of other stuff that I kept, and I've got more to show you on the next video. But it's almost 11 here, guys, and so I'm going to let you go so the video isn't too long and I can get this uploaded for you. And so thanks for hanging in there. Let me know what you think. What would you have done with all of this lovely stuff that's really cute, but it's just not selling? How long does it take before you give up? Are you someone who, you know, really literally just waits years and then things sell? What's your approach to keeping your store active? And I'd love to hear it. So thanks for tuning in. If you don't mind, like the video for me if you like this kind of content. I have probably 500 more items that I will be slowly each week, just slowly going through and figuring out, are they listed? Why are they still, you know, kind of stagnant? Why are they, you know, number 500 or number 2000 and I'm on the 4000s now? Why are they sitting? So I'm trying to go through and motivate these items, if that's, I don't know how you put that, but if that's how you put things, but I'm trying to push these things to sell without just cutting prices. I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong on all of these listings, if they were bad buys or what. So comment below, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow with the rest of this video. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.